Germany seems a country dominated by Dortmund, dominated by Leverkusen, recently of course, and then Bayern Munich even more recent. The three horsemen of the apocalypse, apart from Hamburg and Schalke, give no other teams really a chance, and them other two have only backed out because of money troubles. And then when you go to the third division of Germany, there are teams without any money struggling to get on form. As today, we're taking over FC Schweinfurt, bottom of the Liga, to make the worst team in Germany the best and give them the best squad. As yes, people, here we are. I love how everybody's matching kits. Really satisfying pictures here, but not satisfying ratings with the team. The team I do struggle to actually say, it is Schweinfurt. I'm going to call them the worst team in Germany. No offense if you actually do support this team. As there is proof, 1 win, 11 losses, 0 draws. Means this team is in grave trouble. But that's why they've got me in charge now. As I'm going to try and alter the fortunes and try and alter the budgets going forward, because less than 1 million. Yes, we're not at the start of the season. We enter halfway through. And Johannes Jace. I think I've used this guy before, loosely. An old man. Kevin Ferry's quite old as well. We've got Lucas Zeller, who could come on a journey with us. Sebastian Muller, we could try and craft into the Thomas Muller regen at 24. Or just try and make him do well. I could check as top scorers, but I want to check our youth. Loris Bosterwein looks good. Then we've got a striker, Fabio Luque Notaro. I think from Liechtenstein, Nico Grims. Okay. It's not a great squad. Eric Shuranov. As one thing I'm realizing is actual potential in strikers and wingers. And because we are bottom of the third Liga and we can't get relegated, I'm going to take a gamble with this squad and I'm going to try the 4-2-4. Keeping the midfield very structured, keeping the wingers as wingers because I don't want them flooding forward. I do want some cover for our defenders. And this is our best team. Now, Boschwein's got a bit of potential, but we don't have a right back. He's the closest to being one despite 48 defending, which is obviously not good. And the fact we can't sign players is not good as well. We've got old men in the midfield, but 1 old man and 1 young up front. Now, I could go coaches, but in fact, I'm not even going to put any money into them this season. We really can't afford to because the money's got to go onto the youth. No point in trying to get coaches to grow old players when we need these ones. Now, right mid, we're very full on with, but Thomas Busch is the best in the current academy. I'm going to promote a bunch of players. Yes, it might cost us a bit of money. I don't want to get players we don't want, though, so maybe Lachlan McDonald with that potential can join, and I'm not sending out Fabio Jakob because he's 1-star, 1-star. We've got to go all in on youth, and I think the best we can do is Michael John. 3-star, 3-star going to Germany because we can't make any signings season 1. And we do have players we can loan out in future seasons, like Emil Zorn. He could potentially be the backup goalie in the team, and Pius Kratchmer looks like he could be a decent right back in 4 weeks. Is actually, hang on, we've got one, Langhans, and that's good because I now can make Bauswein a right wing instead of a right back. However, hopefully we have one through the academy, and we do have Timo Schramm, Yilmaz, Schmidt, and a decent first season intake here. As this first season just seems like I've stockpiled on young players here. We've got so many positions to change. I'm going to try and go through the good ones. Hopefully they're all good, though. I'm just going to change the position of every player, including some of the first team. Bostwine, he's up to a 64. Kreitzschmer is now a right back, but the man who's played, showing great potential, is Timo Schramm. Literally just promoted. And yes, I did dance around with tactics, but I now need to change the players around. Look at the amount we've got here. All these youngsters. I can't wait to get loan in next season as Baustvine. Oh my days, the midfield's got a lot weaker. As when we do put the best together, we've got 2 youth players straight into it. Yilmaz, 18-year-old left-footed centre-half, which is really rare, and then Schramm, so 2 defenders from our academy. In season 1 isn't bad at all. We've got a youngster on the bench in Busch, but Bausvine's playing well. And then Muller is still 66. Same as Shuranov, who's the top scorer with 5 all season. Okay, Muller got 4. and then none of our youngsters really contributed. Again, it was just about getting them into the squad. Maybe we become a class of 92 team, or make a class of 2025, which will be remembered, as this table won't. We finished rock bottom. Now, we can't go down to the 4th tier of Germany. It's not in the game, but finishing below teams like Hoffenheim and Stuttgart's second squad. Basically, their academy is not good. Yeah, a really bad season with Hansa Rostock, who should not be down here, winning the 3 Liga. And I don't think we got entry to the Pokal, which is a shame. I want to be winning that. Winning that, winning the Bundesliga, and eventually winning the Champions League. As this has been a very quick first season, but I am very excited to get loaning next season, get a budget, get signing. So if you guys could subscribe to the channel if excited, it would mean a lot to me. We are trying to hit 70k before 2026, as now we have a huge list. Some transfer listed players, they've done it themselves, including Tobias Bush though, who I have put straight on the transfer list. If we can try and sell some of our youth, even in the first season, we'll extend our budget. With the rest of them going out on loan, including some real players, a lot to do. We've got 40 players here at Schweinfurt. We cannot afford that wage bill, because I bet the budget's gone down, which it hasn't really. This second season, a fresh start with 2 million. That should be enough to try and sneak the Bundesliga 2. Although, who am I kidding? We probably don't, because there's still players in the team that are aging, like Gies, like Ferry, our midfield duo, who will have to get one of them replaced, because I trust that forward line with Richtheimer, Shurinov, and Muller. He's got support on the bench from Bauschwein, and that bench looks pretty capable if we even take Bush off it. 2 strikers, a winger, a midfielder, centre, and wide fullback. We should be fine. However, I've just received this message of Angelberger. He genuinely had some potential. 23-year-old, 61 overall. And hey, has took our budget up, as we definitely need to replace him in the midfield with one who's catching my eye. Yes, someone who's already currently here. Albert Vogel. He's 16-year-old, loan listed, 13 weeks till a centre mid. Do we actually keep this guy here? Well, I doubt he'll actually play. He's more defensive focused, and we need to try and score goals to win games of football, and we're loaning out because we need to do a lot of this. Lasse Schmidt, one of the better ones. Karlsruhen, 2 years. I don't mind it, as we should also be selling some players as well as loaning. With the sale of the old centre-back, Meinber, but we're not getting much money. And then Tobias Bush, who is selling to a league rival in Ulm, but actually making bank on. We are 3.5 mil now, but we're still left with our main team. None of the first team is actually out of the club. So yes, maybe one midfielder. Maybe we trust this guy Gies. Received multiple bids for him, and it would be wise to take it whilst he's old, but just because he's got experience and just because he's higher rated now, I'm going to keep him here, get him a partner in Louise M. Gelns, and then I'm going to gamble. Yes, we're getting all of our youngsters out, but what if we got one in the striker position for the future? This is Dennis Husser, who already grew, I'm pretty sure, to a 61 before he joined the club. But it says +8. What a fantastic player. Not the fastest, but 6'5", really what we needed. Same as growth in Dennis Reichgart, growth in Lachlan McDonald, and I'm sure all the other youth players, as Tony Stahl is the highest rating. This is the other signing we made, Louise, and then Muller. But I see one thing. 2 youth down here in Schraum and Yilmaz, but Albert Vogel, he's gone on loan to Malmo. I was right in saying he's good at only 17. Unbelievable. And that's why Dennis has grown. I gave him a crucial position in the team to make sure he played, and he got 21 goals. That is 16 more than Winsheimer, who I did play alongside him, as well as Shurinov. Then we've got Muller scoring, and also Joshua Endres. We do need that old head as experience, as Shurinov has left the club. We also need another midfielder, so let's fix this squad very quickly. There we go, and yeah, Shurinov is gone, so Winsheimer's played up front. I don't see a lot of players that were on our bench. They haven't lost much of the first team, but when we look at this, we've got Shurinov out, 1.4 million, Trilich, and also Larius Bauschwein, or Bauschwein to a rival, and he would have been good to replace Muller. With them goals and with them increases, let's have a look. The player of the year, that has gone to Froling. I don't believe he's in our team, but look at that for a team of the season. We do have one player in Endres. Very surprised no Husner. Must have not scored more than Martinovic and Krugel, but I don't care how underrated we are, because we've gone overrated. From bottom to top, we have one the 3 Liga. Sensational performance this. 71 points, won over Saarbrücken. The shocks of the Pokal last season or the season before. Then we've got Alemannia Aachen. We also got entry into the Pokal round 1, losing narrowly on penalty to St. Pauli. A very high up team. A team we potentially could face next season. With 3 million left over from the sales we've made from release clauses, and the team we are currently building, I think we should survive as well in the 2nd tier. Can't wait to see the budget we've got, but my excitement all goes into one player, Albert Vogel. At Malmo, I'm guessing one of the best teams in Sweden. Lost out on the league to Mjölby, and them stats are absolutely phenomenal. For a 17-year-old to have them, although he doesn't really filter into centre-back or centre-mid. Yeah, making me think we do alter this. We have to go to a more structured one. We went all-out attack and did just win the goddamn division. But this league is bound to be a lot more goddamn harder, so I am going to go for this. Move this man back in the middle to a holding one. So essentially, Vogel plays as a centre-back because I do think his stats are very attached to that position, despite him not being able to be one for over 100 weeks, as we do need a centre-mid. And I think literally replace that position, then the captain later down the line, as the captain curse strikes again, Zeller, I don't think he'll grow too much, and will leave us at some point, as we've got Hubner, a young player, we've got McDonald, Mora could actually step into this team. As we scrap for a centre-mid, and 5 million euros is absolutely perfection to go and find one, so maybe we could actually filter into centre-back if we get lucky, and have the money to peel over, as we do have players we can sell as well, but I still want to loan out youth. That first year was absolutely stupendous for finding talent, so we're going to try and find some more and loan out more, with some current players still going out. We've got Nick going for 12 months to Ingolstadt, still trusting him to grow, and then we do say goodbye to our veteran, Jonas Gay says, now I do want to kind of get a veteran in, or just not go for wonder kids. Yes, I do want to get them in, and we've grown ones already here, because I big bid in for Timo Schramm, which I'm rejecting, obviously so. But yeah, I don't want to sign too many. We just signed 2 in the last window, and this season is about survival. So capable players is what we need. A capable centre-mid and centre-back, if we do have the money to get them. And I am going to look outside of Germany. Eredivisie doesn't look too bad. And Noé Le Breton, he's not a teenager per se. He's 23, so he's got a bit of experience in the top division. And he actually did cost a bit much. We've only got 2 million left. I want more than that if we are to get a goalkeeper in, so I'm trying to sell some of our very massive fullbacks. Or massive in size the amount we've got. Langhans wasn't actually that tall. No offense to him, as a big offer for Timo Schramm from now Bayern Munich. In any other save, I'd probably accept it, but he's young, and I feel like we can get more going into the future, as I want more players to grow, of course, and I did say no wonder kids, but the 2 we're signing, because hopefully we can get Gabriel Guarino at both 23, and both costing less than 3 million each. As we're also getting them on long contracts, so hopefully around 27, 28, they decide to hit their prime, as this is the team we enter the Bundesliga 2 with, and I think it's pretty goddamn strong. And that'll do me completely. Survival at its fittest. Yes, 5 points off, but there was a lot of other teams in between. Rot, literally rotting at the bottom, then Rostock rotting as well. Karlsruhe and Elversberg below us, where we have sold players too. As not far off Schalke, who were once a huge giant. I hate their money struggles. And Heidenheim winning the league. Don't they have the longest lasting manager ever? I'll have to check managers at one point, as we do get through in the Pokal to face Leverkusen and put up a decent fight, scoring 2 goals in it, which there's no shame with at all, as all the best players have played, which is always a positive sign. We've got Vogel at a 74. Same as the goalie, we've got Yilmaz and Muller and Husser. There's a mix between old now on the wings and the youth prospects, which I can't lie, I continued to loan out because I thought I'd got a good player here in Kevin Ferry, who could be on the bench, but he's a -7, not a +7. Showing growth can go both ways. We had a player on loan at Karlsruhe, we had Mora out on loan, same as McDonald. Them 2 will be bench players, being the best ones we had out on loan, as Husser scores 11, then Rijkaard +2 for him only, but he does replace Endre. Andres. Putting up a fight with him, but when we do compare stats down here, it looks like, yep, it's 4-2 in favour of the youth player who has age on his side. So I'll swap them around. Any players getting into the team of the season if I can actually find it? There is not. Okay, it is dominated by the teams that were actually up there. And no wacky manager movement that I see when looking at the recent transfers going on. As can we make wacky moves? Could we actually get promoted after only one builder season? Well, it does depend on the budget, but I want to see the players that have actually just got promoted with Heidenheim. The highest I'm seeing is 76. However, a few of them, okay, right, it is going to be difficult to get to that division. Actually, no, not many players. They've gone for the small squad approach, which I usually say I want to do ourselves, and the budget has gone down. Right, 4 million's about. One player into our side. A side that looks very good, don't get me wrong. Vogel getting a bit aggy. And we've got a lot of youth players back, which is good. We've got Hubner as a backup, Mora as a potential starter. As our bench transforms to this, we do lack a fullback, which we could get in, and we do have a lot of wingers. I'm going to trust Andres just a little longer. However, with the aims altering and some players not growing, I think I'm going to trim the youth. Maybe to sign more youth, like Justin Schwab in his last year of his contract. Sometimes I can't just speak. Lasse Schmidt is the same. Winsheimer will cash in on because he's under 30, so still should have a price tag, as we desperately need to make cash. And I am going to make a tactical tweak. Go a bit higher and then go counter-attacking. I believe our team's kind of fixed for it. Might sound stupid when trying to get promoted, but we've got wing-backs who flood around. We've got a 5-at-the-back formation with 3 attackers who can get through the middle. And no offense, but when I watch Serie A and Bundesliga, it seems like slower football. Obviously comparing it to the Premier League, which I watch mostly, alongside 4th Division England. So here we go. The players are going out, starting with Jensen, Fabian to Sharmat Rovers. Now, we're not going to make a huge puddle of money from anyone, unless we did sell Timo Schramm, because clubs are still coming in for him. And he is losing a bit of potential. He's over 20 now, and we do have other youth players in our side. So here he goes. I didn't really negotiate any more money. Said I could only get like 500k more, and 6.1 is fine by me. Taking us to 9 million, and we know which positions we kind of need now. We've got to filter into that right back slot. We need a right back for the bench, as well as then maybe another striker, because Winsheimer I'm trying to really get out, and we haven't sold Schwab, Schmidt, or Hubner yet, so maybe they stay. As I'm going out of the country, I'm going to look in the trendy old Super League, because decent players can be found there, and the first one, Seisman Adamczyk. I'm going to say it quietly, but looks like an improvement on the man we've just sold. Already forgetting his name, as then we've got Felix Emmanuel Tsimba, leaving the final player to be a left back, and we do want someone German now. We haven't signed many German players, so welcome Renault Munz of Firth. Right, and we are only 4 seasons deep. Bearing in mind, this was the worst team in Germany. Now, it will be in the top division. After winning 20 games, winning another league title, yes, less points, better goal difference. Now we're 6 points clear of St. Pauli. Hamburg still struggling. We've got Holstein Kiel, Schalke, Hanover, Firth. We've signed players from all of these. Has Preben Munster go down, and I can't believe it. Right, we lost in the first round to Wiesbaden, if I've even said that name right. I can't even say the name of the team we're managing without making a mistake, but this will be in the top division. We do have an 80 rated player. It is Vogel with 88 defending, leading me to think, is he just better as a centre-half? He'd get a partner in Yilmaz at a 78. 21-year-old, a little bit older than him. Guarino is the captain, obviously, despite being one of the newer signings, and he probably will move out the team. That is the captain's curse. As when we put one of our new signings, Munz, into left back, we could go to 5 at the back, as we've got some very decent players. As well as Vogel, we've got Stahl, who's almost 30. I don't think he'll be the next Neuer. Then we've got Yilmaz, then Müller. Engels, who we need to say the name right of a few more times, as that's the other signing we made. A backup striker into Simba. Reminded me of Mbolo, who was at Schalke, and when I saw Schalke in this league, I kind of wanted to get a Swiss man in, as Reindijk scores the most goals and wins the Bundesliga 2 player of the season despite only +2. Dynamic potential not working out too well, as there are 4 players in the team of the season. As 5 seasons in and we sit 3rd in the Bundesliga. Yes, no games have been played, but it's us, Cologne and Heidenheim. If the league finished at that point, I would not mind, as they want us to just avoid relegation, which is fine, and reach the round of 16. That of the Pokal, by the way, definitely not Europe, and we will not get near Europe with only 19 million to spend. That is goddamn dreadful. As before we change this formation to a formation I think we'd be better off using, we need to see how Vogel changes, and it doesn't alter his rating at all. Damn it, I thought it'd be better. How's it not got better with 88 defending? It is a lot better than Guarino and the other centre-half, who seem to be okay there. Maybe we train him not defending and we do change to a 5-at-the-back formation. I think that would be suitable. Could go 3, but we've got some good fullbacks. And they both like to play at wing-back. We'll move Engels down from a playmaker to a holding with a box-to-box, inside forwards, and then the advanced man in Dennis Husser, which I think has this team sitting pretty perfectly. Now, though, does it actually survive? Because the player of the year last year in the second division, Grindherk, looks pretty weak. The weakest in the team at 71. And on the bench for him, we've got a 32-year-old and then a 21 experienced. On loan man in Lachlan McDonald, he really needs to grow himself. As yes, we've got to get signing, but only 90 million to spend. I think we've got to raise some more funds here in Germany to actually compete at this level, because the budget isn't very good. So we're going to sell all of our fringe men. The abysses of this world, the ones that are 64 rated, around 30 years of age, and the Fabio Luque Notaros. I thought he would be a good prospect, but obviously I was wrong, and I don't know if I'm wrong about making this move, selling our starting goalie Tony Stahl for almost £20 million, as yes, like I said, winger and then fullback at right back could be worked upon, same as centre back. But now, if we put all our money into a shot stopper with 34, I think we can get someone really good. And obviously a really good keeper would hopefully mean we survive in this division, as we've had no problem with scoring goals. We've even got some free agents popping up for us here if we needed them. Look at that, one of our old players, Langhans. Speaking of old players, our right back we sold to St. Pauli, Schramm, is doing very decently. I regret selling him now, up to an 82. We just didn't see his potential, but we need to find a potential keeper, and we do have a Polish left back, or sorry, right back, and then Maximilian back. Won't cost the full shebang. We should still keep some money with this guy. £17 million gives us over 10 still to spend. Another youth player into this team, and I am looking at the other Polishman, but now we've actually signed the goalkeeper, I think he'll slide. I think we get a winger who still could be younger than the one we've got, and 50 million's got me thinking. Do I go and buy some coaches? There is a lot of young players in our team. I don't know. I found a man we can squeeze the money into anyway. Newerton from Shakhtar. Literally on the borderline of what we've got. He's actually decimated our budget, this guy, but hey, he's gone up by 4 or 5. I was tempted to say 2 other letters, but I don't want to do any memes in this video. Although I kind of did, and we've got good growth, especially around our back 5 or 6, including back. He's 20-year-old, really grown. Harsh on Rijkaard to drop to the bench. We've got Purenets playing. I kind of wanted this guy out of the squad because I can't say his name, and I still can't. Season's gone by, we've lost a centre-back, so we definitely need someone there. And this team, it should be good enough to survive in the top division if we get it right. And it looks like we did. Look at that. 1 goal difference. We conceded a lot, but we also scored. We're like goal scorers, and a 7th position could be Conference League. I think Leipzig have just beaten us, but all these teams below us we beat is sensational. And we've gone ahead and won the cup. The DFB Pokal belongs to FC Schweinfurt. We beat Gladbach. We beat Bayern Munich in a semi-final 3-2. And Wolfsburg. Good teams. And Dortmund. The big 2. Knocked out by the worst team in Germany at the start of this save. Definitely no more. And that should, like I said earlier on, equal a bigger budget. We need more money. Looks like we have depended on the defense and the youngsters in the defense for this season. Then also the goal scorers, as Dennis Husser grabs 13. The new signing grabs 10. It's actually the other side I'm worried about now, because Muller is approaching 30. Then we've got the defenders here not doing well. Guarino, we signed at 23, I believe. Same as another man. It was these two we signed at the same time. Yeah, I do trust Noé Le Breton. Just the defender a little bit less, as we've been given no more budget than what we actually had last year, and most of the squad is quite young. So I trust to grow, as this is new, the Franz Beckenbauer Super Cup. It's got a name to it now, it's sponsored, and we do play Bayern Munich, the best team in this country, which we've got to make no more. We've got to overthrow them, and I'm hoping we do. As look at these objectives, I'm guessing the Copper or Pokal, sorry, put us in Europe. Getting a flashback right to Spain there, as we just need to get through the league phase, finish mid-table, round of 16. I think we should be doing them comfortably. And the way we do it, despite me voicing concerns on Muller, Adamczyk and Guarino, is working down on this bench. Now, fullback I feel confident with. Most of these up here. Would like to have a better winger though than McDonald, so he could probably leave. And centre-back, we definitely need another one. That's where I'd like to strengthen in the first team. So it's back to scraping the bottom of the barrel. But Sebastian Muller, I wanted him to be the next Thomas Muller, but I am going to take that money and run away from Atalanta. In a season I'm trying to get rid of the Deadwood. That's an absolutely massive offer. I don't believe this is Muller. No, it's Nico Grims for $500,000. Winsheimer is another one. We're getting rid of a couple of OGs. And Sebastian Muller. I wanted him till the end just with the name he had. But times have got to change, and 71 million will equal a lot for us. As I know the first move I'm making, Guarino to the bench. He's going to be the bench centre-back. Bring in a huge player there. Then we'll visit right wing, of course. Then we might visit midfield. Adamczyk is just in the team because of the keeper. Literally nation linking him. Perfect linking him into the team, as the first one is Nathan Zeze coming across from Red Bull Salzburg. Not Leipzig, in the Austrian division. And then we've got Sandro Miranda. Sure, he's lower rated than Leberton, but it didn't cost hardly anything. Coming from Elche, who are a team easy to buy from, as we'll go Zeze to the left-hand side, as we now have two left-footed centre-backs when we go to stats. There's Nathan Zeze and Timo Yilmaz, who has 3-star weak foot. Actually, I could play any in the middle. Vogel is on the right-hand side, and he's got the 5-star weak foot, so a bit of an awkward one. But when we're talking about the left, do you know what else is left over? After a few more fringe players have gone out, 47 million, and there's one player I really want. Then I've got a meh backup. Emerson, he's the mayor one. The main man is Emerson Vitorino of Real Madrid. Looks the Rodrigo regen, who I want to throw everything at. I really want this man signing for our club. 38 and a 15% release clause is to be accepted. And it was Xabi in charge, wasn't it? So Emerson with the double N's, get off my shortlist. This man is my focus. As with Newerton, the inside forward role and being allowed to attack, he should score goals and light up the German Bundesliga. At end of this season, well, I'm seeing a graphic show up. Now, it took 2 seasons to win the Bundesliga, 2, and 2 to win 3 Liga. That's the Bundesliga title we're holding. We've won it. We've actually done it. 2 seasons, 6 to win all. And I'm not just talking promotion, I'm on about winning literally all. We didn't have a very good goal difference, but 26 wins gives us the title of the best team in Germany. And we beat Bayern Munich in the Super Cup, so I'm not putting trophies in yet, but that is 2. Couldn't make it 3. With the Europa, I wasn't even thinking about the DFB Pokal, but we beat Bayern Munich again, 1-0. That is extraordinary. Frankfurt 3-2. Did we beat Dortmund on the way? We beat Mainz. No, we got revenge on Wiesbaden. Ingolstadt. We had to go the long way around. And I tell you what, if we win the Europa League, that's everything good put together. But we didn't have too great of a rotational team. 6th below Brighton and Atalanta, where we sold a player to. And then Paul Pogba's Monaco beat us in the round of 16. I guess we put us focus elsewhere, because I want to focus on this team. I pray we get a bigger budget next year. After the season that we've just had, we've got a 90 rated 21-year-old Vogel, an amazing centre-back, with Yilmaz at the side of him. Munz not growing too much. Our fullbacks are a little bit weak, same as the midfield, because Miranda's not took Leberton out, meaning yet again the captain's curse strikes, because he's the captain of the team. And Vitorino on that wing, probably better than Rodrigo already, with the Brazilians carrying here in Germany. The only Brazilian I can think of that's played in Germany, is it Rafinha, who was the right back? It's hard to think about, as Husser scores 22 goals, Newerton 15, Vitorino 14. But this team has just won the Bundesliga. And I tell you what, that's not a very good reward. 45 million for winning it? Surely the board can do better. But surely we can do better now in the Champions League. We can't better our time here in Germany, as when we load it up, we're not even expected to win the league again. Reach a quarter-final. I'm aiming for the final. In the first season, as I say it a lot, the first team doesn't need much work. We've got Leberton, who I am going to keep my faith in. He's hitting his prime. Because we've got Miranda down here on the bench. We've got Guarino, who's a strong player, but I do want to replace a lot of positions now, as Reinhardt still not over 75 overall. And that's kind of funny. We've got a 27 rated Dillinger. Going to be releasing him. Joshua Enders was good for us, but not anymore, of course. As I've trimmed this squad down to the minimum being a 60 rated, because we need that centre-back, and we do have 2 other goalkeepers, but I do want a very substantial backup to make sure we fight on all accounts. So I have gone to the MLS for Roman Celentano. A lot of money on a backup goalie. But did you see the Tash? He's well worth it. And there is some drilling going outside again of my house, if you can hear that, as I want to hear a brilliant signing. Again, walking through my doors, though. We need a centre mid and a striker, as I've just thought in the back of my mind. They've got to be German. We haven't stuck to German signings. So maybe the next few are actually this, and I think we have around 35 million. Paris Brunner is going to be 20. He looks perfect and did beat us in the Europa. So he comes back to the German Giants, the winners of the last Bundesliga, alongside a man making a massive move in terms of his career, Max Brandt from SSV Ulm, who is, I believe, the brother of Julian Brandt. Does have that fluffy hair of his, but now this team's looking phenomenal. 390 rateds in it. The striker's never been too good for us. The midfield's kind of weak. Fullbacks definitely could improve, but overall this is wonderful. We've got Albert Vogel at 92, Vitorino at a 91. We knew he'd be brilliant the moment we signed him, as he nets 18 goals. Not too much. Husner actually beaten. 14 for him. Newerton 13. Munz 9, our fullback. Who have I signed before? Did this guy used to be a wonder kid? I'm not sure, as I think we should be winning the Bundesliga again with that team. And let's see straight away, shall we? Well, we do. 34 games played. That means it's over. 76 points is phenomenal. Leaving Bayern Munich behind, because it was Dortmund in second, and a 2-1 win yet again to guarantee us another Super Cup. Although this time around we don't win the Pokal, which is disappointing, it is still 2 trophies and the potential to win the Champions League, which I think we do have the team for. Leipzig actually beat us, and we've got an ex-Red Bull player ourselves in the defense in Zeze. But come on, Champions League phase absolutely smashed everybody. Monaco doing really well though, and they shocked us last year, as in the first knockouts. We get revenge on Red Bull Leipzig. That's very nice. I'd rather beat them in the Champions League. Oh no though. Oh no, oh no. Bayern Munich, the strong team I did say had a fall off. 4 goals to 3, stopping us, the best German team. And that's gutting. It really is. We've got 63 million euros. And yet another Super Cup, and I know what our aims will be. To win everything this season. With this squad, which should have won everything. Really gutted we missed out. However, I'm going to see what we missed out to. Bayern Munich, they have had a bit of a fall off in the league, and I don't know why. So let's go and check their squad. See what they've got going on. Hakan Aslan, a decent youth prospect. Bischoff is right there. Okay, they've got Pau Kabasi. They've also got Leonard Kahl, a youngster. And Roman Rodgers, the Harry Kane regen. However, I mentioned 2 cams right there because they don't have their main one. The man who suffered a horrific injury last time I watched him, I believe, in the Club World Cup, Jamal Musiala. Now, has he been at Chelsea before, or was it City he was in the academy of? Still, he looks an incredible talent. 90 dribbling. Now, he doesn't have a position in our team, but in the last saves we've done in France, or not France, it was Spain and England. You just saw there, we signed the best players. We signed Kane in England, Rodri in Spain. We could go for Florian Wirtz, but I knew he's just made the move to Liverpool. Another brilliant player, but I think he'd struggle to be a more central one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will be better converted to centre mid than Musiala, because we need cover there. And I know it's only been a relatively quick rebuild for the worst team to get this high with all these ratings. Yes, we've changed the squad around completely, today. But I thought it would take longer, so Noah Leberton's already transfer requested. And just to be sure we've got the money, I'm going to put Miranda up there as well. As long story short, we need this Champions League. I've accepted a few offers for rotational players, and I never thought about Engels, the man to actually leave us, but because I can't say his name, he can try and join Kai Havertz. Going to the Gunners. After these lads, though, we should make a pretty profit. Lasse Schmidt goes to West Brom, almost 6 million on a reserve player. Fantastic, ahead of Schwab. I think that's 3 million going to the Liga NOS. Before Luiz actually exits, he's going to Arsenal for a pretty penny, taking us to 122 million. Now, the gamble I didn't take at the start of this save actually paid off, and that involved getting coaches in. Again, I'm not going to do it right now because I know we can't afford them chasing Musiala, but I do regret not doing that, and we have lost our best centre mid now. However, I still don't feel confident we can afford Musiala. 145 mil. Has he just gone up a rating? Wasn't he actually at a 91? I think with that little bit of growth he's got, it means we've got to sell our growing man Miranda, because I'm honestly not bothered about the midfielders on the bench right now. We need the first team worthy of winning the Champions League. Oh, and it doesn't look like he wants to be a centre mid. Almost. What is that? 3, 4, 5 years for the 30-year-old to actually play in the middle. Maybe I went wrong. Maybe Florian Wirtz should have been the option. But I am confident with Musiala, alongside the other ratings in the team, that we have grown a lot. We've got some really good overall ratings. With Dennis Husser finally getting goals, I thought he'd get higher than he actually is. But he's only 25 still. 6'5". He's a tall man, and that might affect some of his stats because he's not going to get the pace increase, and then, of course, he's not going to go up in rating as Newerton and Vitorino, our Brazilian wingers, supporting him like crazy. And Lera Brereton has played. I've just thought his name is kind of like a French LeBron. Don't know why that's come to mind, but it has. We've got a 90-rated keeper. Our centre mid's on the bench. Pretty weak with Branton Mora, but we've got one old, one young to bounce off one another as we go and win another title. We are dominant in our country. If only this rebuild was to keep on winning the Bundesliga, as we would have done it. And Leipzig, we've doubled down on the revenge right now. We've won the Franz Beckenbauer Super Cup. Don't think we've lost that. And the Pokal. We've done the treble. We've done the German treble. We are officially the best team in Germany. Now we've got to take that worldwide with one of the best players in Germany. Come on, though. That's shocking. 8th position. 8th. We've got to be better than that. Dortmund above us, Bayern Munich in a playoff round, but then Manchester City hammered 5-0. You've got to feel some confidence from that. Before Bayern, the team in our division, finally get to beat them in Europe, as they stopped us last year. And Napoli can't stop us. FC Schweinfurt 05 from getting into the finale against Barcelona at the Stadion Olympique. And hang about, this is unfair on the other team. In the green kit, I actually love the kit that we're playing in. It is at the Allianz, however. What a quick switch up. And yes, we're in the home kit, but for the second rebuild running, our right back is suspended. So now we're playing, I don't know who really with, but they've got to be decent because Lamine Yamal, I think, successfully is on the other side. And it is going to be Puenetz, who is our left back. He's been here from the start. And look at the play styles. Turning on Musiala with the first incorrect pass on a wet and windy day, so I guess that can happen. As now they've got Pedri running through the middle. Just got to stand them up. Defender came a long way out, but I don't mind it. We used to play that way in the formation. A terrible pass out, though, and we've got to try and get the tackle in. It's missed. And almost a pen. A pretty weird start, as Puenetz is actually retiring at the end of the season. The right back, who's a left back, playing out of position, not very well rated, but it's Barcelona starting the better here. Lebertron, who should lift the trophy, just in the space, trying to watch De Jong, and Jamal Musiala not helping the defending out as Lamine Yamal was coming forward. It's on to Husner around the corner. This is where we do the damage. Both of our wingers getting 20 goals this season. It is going to be Newerton! And we do have the counter style. I never changed that tactic from us. Counter-attacking on Barcelona with one of the speedy Brazilians. Just the way we should be playing in the inside forward role. One of the first times I think the tactic has really paid off for us. Usually the tactics Don't mean too much. It's not like we're playing against someone online with better ones. It's the CPU as Jamal Musiala. That's a good ball into Vitorino with that play style onto Puernet, who can cross towards the 6'5" striker. Husser, as that's been working since the 3 Liga days, that link up, as now Pedri onto Musiala. Not Musiala, Lamine Yamal needed stopping. He's really working out as that's a good ball. And free header. And I'm just scrapping to keep hold of this really here. They've got a really good team and it's bad weather. So I'm struggling to actually get going as Vitorino in the middle right now. Musiala could shine. Oh my days, what a save, João Garcia. Incredible work, and he should have had his goal there that he doesn't deserve. And Newerton, come on. We've gone less counter-attacking now. We're actually blitzing them for pace down the side. Almost a ball inside. To the striker as Lamine Yamal. He gets stopped by the captain. Absolutely beautiful work. I think he's going to get the man of the match. And Musiala finally tracking back, which could be the vital track back, because the game could be over. We could have countered to this title, but still. Husser goes backwards, and there goes the whistle. We've conquered Wales, England, Spain, and now the German leagues. Grabbing a flawless result right there, keeping Barcelona to 0, and the best player on the field gets to lift the trophy. That's how it really should be, shouldn't it? Although they'll all get to lift the trophy, and if you want to do, or want to see me do the worst team in your country, maybe let me know below. Are they in FC, of course? As I will see you hopefully in the next rebuild, or if you want to watch one right now, click on screen for what YouTube recommend you based on what you like.